Hello and welcome back to an all-new episode of Caregivers Community. Today's episode is going to be about my brother and how he passed away. I do want to add a trigger warning to this episode because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be really emotional and graphic and probably hard to hear, but I think that he would want me to tell his story of how he passed away just to put awareness on his mental condition. So let's get into talking about that today. Okay, so my brother passed away from cysts on the brain, and they were either arachnoid or colloidal cysts from the autopsy of what the coroner told us they were. First, we were told they were arachnoid, and then when we got the autopsy back, it was colloidal, but they're pretty much the same cysts. They affect your brain, and they cut off your spinal cord and the liquid that goes to your spinal cord to help flush out and clean your brain. So that usually affects your personality and your behaviors, and you get extremely bad headaches, seizures, and other side effects that happen when you end up with colloidal or arachnoid cysts. They can change the way that your personality, your behaviors, all of that. So how my brother passed away was, my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and a year later, he started to act really, really odd and wasn't acting like himself. And on 5 days before Christmas, on December 20th, 2023, he ended up passing away in his sleep from colloidal cysts and or arachnoid cysts, and he just never woke up. His friend was staying with us at the time. Just that night, he just happened to be staying over that night to help us with a few things because we moved in and we were still trying to unpack our apartment. So he was helping us move stuff around, and he was going to help us unpack our living room with my brother, and my brother just never woke up, and he performed CPR because he was the first one to find him like that. So he performed CPR first, called the ambulance and the police and stuff to try to get him awake, and they told him to perform CPR, and then he got too tired and he was very emotional, which was understandable because it's a very traumatic thing to see somebody pass away and have to do CPR on them. So I took over and I started doing CPR on my brother. By then he was basically a corpse, so the CPR was useless. He was turning blue and hard when I got to him. He was pretty much passed away like 3 or 4 hours probably before we started doing CPR on him. It was very traumatic. I still sometimes get flashbacks depending on what I'm doing, mostly before his anniversary comes up. But the issue was that the doctors never found the colloidal cysts or the arachnoid cysts. I don't think that if they did find them in time, I don't think they would have found them in time anyways, but they refused to give him an MRI and refused to treat him for anything. So that was the biggest problem that we had with the doctors at the time, was nobody was listening to how much pain he was really in. We weren't sure how much pain he was really in. He experienced seizures 2 weeks before he passed away, which was really odd because he never had them before in his life. And all of these weird incidents were happening with him. Like I said before, his personality was changing, his behaviors were off, he was still the same person, but at times he would flip back and forth to being a different person. And arachnoid and colloidal cysts aren't really, people don't know a lot about them because there's not a lot of awareness about them. They're very rare. They only happen to a certain small amount of people. And by the time people usually find them, the person that they love has already passed away. So there is that. I just want to put awareness on the fact that maybe people should do research if you are experiencing migraines, really bad migraines, maybe seizures. Maybe look into colloidal or arachnoid cysts because it does affect the brain. It's a rare condition. You're usually born with it. We were told by the coroner that my brother was probably born with this, and they didn't start growing until he was around 30 years old, because that's when he passed away. So they grew very quickly in size. Sometimes they don't affect you forever. Sometimes they can affect you very quickly. My brother just happened to have them affect him extremely quickly and extremely fast, and he ended up passing away in his sleep because of the arachnoid or colloidal cysts. Now, there are ways to get tested around the arachnoid and colloidal cysts. It's usually an MRI. It's a special test. They look into your brain, they check them out, and they can surgically remove them from your brain. Once they find them, they're usually small. They don't grow very quickly. My brother just happened to have his grow very, very quickly. And it was very traumatic time at that time because it was 5 days before Christmas that he passed away. So that was traumatic in itself. Having to do CPR on him, not knowing what he passed away from for a little while was traumatic. And then seeing the autopsy report with the colloidal or arachnoid cysts that we were told that he had, that he passed away from. I mean, mind you, he was 30 years old. He was pretty healthy. He had migraines as a kid and had headaches as a kid and even as a young adult and as a teenager. But we would have never expected something like arachnoid or colloidal cysts to be the thing that would have made him pass away. That was very new to us. We never heard of these cysts before. We never heard of arachnoid or colloidal cysts before. And I know my brother would want me to put a spotlight on arachnoid and colloidal cysts because he did pass away from them. And if anybody is experiencing things like migraines and seizures, maybe you should look into something like an MRI just to detect if you have them. They are very rare, and you are born with them, apparently. So just be aware that not everybody will have them, but just be constantly aware of what's happening to your body. My brother tried to get tested, but was refused. So if you're dealing with doctors like that, it can be difficult. I mean, mind you, if he even got tested, I don't know if he would have been the same person if he ended up getting the surgery in time, or, I mean, we'll never know if he will ever, we would have saved his life or not. But I just want to let everybody know that that's how he passed away, and it's been a really difficult time. It's 2 years since he's passed away now. I was his caregiver as well as treating my mom at the time. I was caregiving for her while she was going through her cancer treatment. I'm still family caregiver and full-time caregiver. And I was also taking care of my brother too, as well, because there would be times where his migraines were so debilitating that he literally couldn't get off of the bed or the couch. He couldn't move. He could barely move his head. He could barely lift it. So I was taking care of both of them at the same time. Now that was wearing down on my mental health, but also the fact that my brother passed away also was wearing down on my mental health. So yeah, it was a very traumatic time. It still kind of is, but I just want to make sure that I put a spotlight and kind of let everybody know how he passed away, because he would want people to know. Thank you for watching this episode. I'm sorry if I got a little bit emotional. Thank God I didn't cry. But yeah, thank you for watching this episode. Subscribe for more and keep watching new episodes. And if you are interested in this video, please share it with friends and family who you know who might be going through something like a migraine or seizures. This video might help them. And I just appreciate all the love and support, and thank you so much. And I will see you again in the next video. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Bye for now.